so on this worksheet, we're going to actually do some examples together, just so you'll be ready for what you're going to see on the other worksheets, and finally the assessment. So this is just starting with a point, and it says we're going to do a translation, 2 to the right, and 1 unit up. So I'm just taking this point and following that translation. 2 to the right, and 1 unit up. Okay, and once we translate it, I'm going to label it my S prime. Okay, number 2, we have point M, and I'm just going to follow this translation. We're going to go 10 to the left, and then 4 units up. So 10 to the left, and then 4 units up. All the way in that corner. It started as M after the translation. Now I want to label it my M prime. Okay, now we have a full figure here on number 3, a triangle. So you have to take each point and follow the translation. So on all of them, we're going 5 to the left, and then 6 units up. So that'll become G prime. H, so we're going to take H, 5 left, 6 up. This will become H prime. And then same thing for F, 5 left and 6 units up. And that'll become F prime. So once you've translated each point, then you can connect it. And you should notice that you have a congruent triangle. They're exactly the same size and shape still. It just moved its location. Okay, number 4. We got one more triangle here. Let's start with S, and we're going to just follow our translation here. We got 2 to the left and then 7 down. So 2 left and then 7 down. This is going to be our S prime. Same thing with U, 2 left and then 7 down. That's going to be our U prime. And then for T prime, or T, we're going to move it 2 left and 7 down. And label that T prime. So once you've translated each point from the figure, then you can connect them, and you notice you get the exact same congruent shape. All right, now on number 5, instead of giving us words, they wrote it out as the rule here. So here's our original point, A, and it just has x, y values, and they say x, it's going to, after the translation, x looks like it just stays the same, so I'm not going to move left or right, but for my y values, I'm going to add 5. So this is telling me that I'm going to go up 5. So I'm not moving left or right, I just go up 5 units. And that would be my A prime. On number 6, here's our W. So we're starting, and I'm looking at the rule, and this is telling me for my x values, I'm subtracting 4, or I'm going to go left 4. My y value just stays the same, so I'm not moving up or down. I just have to move W over 4 to the left, and then label it W prime. A couple more of those. We got our point T, and following this rule, this tells me for my x values I'm adding 8, so I'm going to go up 8, and then that tells me that I'm going to go up, no, scratch that, sorry, x values. So that's our right or left. So this is telling me I'm going to go to the right 8. And then up 2. So take t, we're going to go right 8, and then up 2. And we can label, that's where our new point is, label that t prime. Alright, how about this rule? This one's telling us the x values, we're going to add 9 to them. So we're going to be moving to the right 9. And then to the y values, we're going to add 2, or go up 2. So same thing, we have our point Q here. I'm going to go right 9, and then up 2. And there's our new point, Q prime. All right, we're going to write a rule now for each translation. So it's already done. Here was our original. And to get to Q prime, what would my rule be? So I have to go over 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to the right 3, and then up 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's a way I can describe it. I can also write it out in this format. So you had your original point. For my x values, I went to the right 3, so it would be x plus 3, and then I went up 4, or y plus 4. Okay, number 10, here was our original, k, and then it moves to k prime. So it looks like we have to go down 10, left 3. So for our writing out our rule, for my x values, I have to move left 3, so I'm going to subtract 3. Whoops, I just want a comma here. And then for my y values, I had to go down 10. So for y, we have to subtract 10. All right, and then a couple more with some figures here. We got a triangle, and we really just have to look at how we go from one point to the next, the S to S prime. So it looks like we had to go to the right 1, and then we move down 2. So I can write that out as a rule. I have my xy point, and I went to the right 1, so I'm taking my x values and adding 1, and then we move down 2. So my y values, I have to subtract 2. It should look like that. Okay, and that was number 11. Okay, last one. Again, you just have to pick one point. I'm going to use this L here. So to go from L to L prime, we have to go over 1, 2, 3. So we move to the right 3, and then up 2. Okay, so that's a way of describing it. Or we can write it out that we had our original point xy. Our x values all shift to the right. So I'm adding 3. My y values all shift up 2. So to y I have to add 2. All right, that completes that worksheet. You should be ready now to do practice 1 on your own.